Hi, my name's Tobey Pierce, and I'd like to share a devotional thought with you today. Have you ever had to do something really hard, really difficult for your family? Maybe there's some conflict going on, and you know you're right and everyone else is wrong. No, really, you know you're right. If you were challenged about that, you could even prove it. But you have to do something really hard for the family, even though it's not your fault. That can happen, can't it? Well, did Jesus ever have to go through anything like that? Well, first off, who is Jesus' family? Well, of course, there was Joseph and Mary. And in Mark 6 and verse 3, it mentions four brothers that he had and multiple sisters. But who did Jesus say is his family? Well, in Matthew 12, in verse 50, Jesus says, "For whoever does the will of my Father in heaven, he is my brother and sister and mother." So Jesus' family is all of us who are trying to obey God and do his will. Well, what did Jesus have to do? Well, in order to save his family, all those he came to save, he suffered terribly and even died for his family. Was it a tough decision to make? Well, Ephesians chapter 1 tells us that the decision was made before the world even began. What was the choice? Well, Jesus was the innocent one. And as the innocent one, he could have called 12 legions of angels, according to Matthew 26 and verse 53, to set him free. But what were the possible outcomes? Well, one outcome was that since all have sinned, Romans 3 and 23, that every accountable soul, ever since the world began, every accountable soul would be lost. And this universe and all that there is would have seemed like some failed experiment, because every accountable soul would be lost and would live in torment forever. But going that route, Jesus would not have had to suffer. The other outcome is that Jesus alone would suffer, but the family would be saved. He would take on the punishment for our sin, and all those who repent and obey God would live in heaven forever with him. That option, that Jesus would suffer and that souls could be saved, was the plan from the beginning, but it was the carrying out of that plan, the carrying out of that decision, that was hard. Jesus prayed, Matthew 26 and verse 39, he says, "Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, not as I will, but as you will." Jesus was the only one who did everything right. He was the only one not guilty of wrongdoing. But he suffered for the family. As he hung on a cross for the world to see, suspended there between two thieves who were being punished for their wrongdoing, surely most people seeing him must have thought that he was in the wrong. He must have done something terrible for them to crucify him. Oh, think of that embarrassment. I would have thought, oh, hey, no, you don't understand. I didn't do anything wrong. Wait. Then as he was crucified, then there's the pain and more pain and more pain. Pain that only stopped when he died. Maybe there are times in your life when you have something hard to do to make peace in your family. But people won't understand. Well, that's okay. they didn't understand when Jesus suffered. But it isn't right. I didn't do anything wrong. That's okay. Neither did Jesus. We did what was right to fix the family. When things go wrong in your family or even in your church family, think about, what can I do to fix this? Even if I'm the one that's in the right, everyone else is wrong. Even if I'm the one that's in the right and I'm the one that takes the hit. Is it hard? Oh, Luke 22 and verse 43 tells us that Jesus was in agony, sweating such that his sweat became like great drops of blood falling down to the ground. Hard for us too? Maybe the hardest thing you've ever done. Think outside the world's box. Think with compassion. Take the first step in making peace. Jesus did the hardest thing to make peace between you and God, between God and God's children. Let's love like Jesus loved. Let's act and react like Jesus did. I hope you have a blessed day.
If you would like more information, or if you'd like to participate in our Bible studies and worship services, we would love to have you come join us at the Northeast Church of Christ in Albuquerque, New Mexico.